What's going on, guys? Uncle Jesse from Full House here, back with another video. I hope everybody's having an absolutely amazing day, because I know I am. If you are also Uncle Jesse from Full House, like you're literally the same person as me, I want you to press the like button. Every like is one Uncle Jesse, guys. No joke. Let's make the strongest army in the universe. So if you don't press the like button, you're basically admitting that you're not cool and you are not an iconic 80s TV star. And you don't want to do that. So press the like button right now, or I'm not kidding. You won't be on the Full House reunion show, and you definitely want to be there, guys. It's going to be crazy. I heard the twins are coming, and they're going to have like a midget popping out of a cake. It's gonna be lit. I don't know if that word's offensive or not, if I was supposed to say little people that I'm saying that. But yeah, either way, press the like button. Otherwise, there's gonna be consequences. Today I'm gonna be telling you guys the story of a time my friend caught his girlfriend cheating on him, alright? This is not my story. This is not my situation. However, I was involved because I can't seem to stay out of drama for the life of me. You might think that's a little awkward, but let's keep in mind that it keeps my channel running 24/7. So anytime there's a little bit of an issue, I've gotta hop in the drama. I gotta get going. I've gotta take some punches. I just do what I gotta do. The story takes place during my 1 year of college where I was hanging out, you know, doing fist bumps with the boys, doing keg stands without the alcohol. There's some pretty good fruit juice that we had in there. It was pretty gnarly. And one of our friends had a girlfriend, and they had been dating since they were freshmen in high school. So it was a pretty long relationship. Definitely not something you'd want to, you know, throw away and just mess around with. And this guy was super into his girlfriend, all right? And when I mean super into his girlfriend, like sometimes he would ditch the boys to go hang out with her. He really, really loved this girl. And none of us really liked her because she was just mean to him. Like I remember one time specifically, he was talking about how he was super stressed out with classes and how, you know, life was really getting to him and he was depressed. And his girlfriend said, and I quote in response, "Go to sleep," which is just not what you do. Like, what a supportive girlfriend. Hey man, I'm depressed. I'm about to blow my brains out with a Bob the Builder toy hammer. And you're like, yeah, I'm going to bed. Good night, Derek. I don't really care what you do. And beyond that, she was just kind of mean to us. Like, we couldn't make jokes when she was around because she was offended by everything. And when I say offended by everything, I mean literally everything. I made a joke about how short people can't reach tall objects, and she literally got on my case for a solid half hour. Thank you, garbage truck, for being loud as hell outside. About how it's so rude that I would make fun of short people because they can't pick their vertical challenges. Vertical challenges? What, is this the NBA draft combine? What are you talking about, woman? There's no such thing as a vertical challenge. You either grow or you don't. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just a fact that short people can't reach the top shelf. But regardless, this girl was just not the type of person we like to be around, but he was in love with her, so we stuck by it. We supported him because when you're friends in love, you gotta do what you gotta do. So one day we're hanging out and, you know, his girlfriend can't come, and we were all so disappointed, you know, because we just loved being around her. And he comes in and he looks very upset and kind of sad, and we're like, hey, what's going on? And I guess he had gone back to their apartment because they lived together or whatever, and was going to tell her goodnight because it was pretty late at night because, you know, we're just some straight gamers who were going to do some gaming in the library, and she had fallen asleep. But when he walked in to say goodnight to her, like kiss her on the head and say he was going out to hang out with us, he noticed that her phone was still on and like propped up on the pillow so you could see her sleeping. And she was FaceTiming a dude, and the dude was like sitting there playing PlayStation, and he said, "Who are you?" And the guy just said, and hung up really quick. And so obviously he's like, I mean, I don't know if anything's going on, but if I ever walked in on my girlfriend asleep on FaceTime with a dude who didn't say like, yo, I'm her cousin, and went, and hung up really quick, I'd be suspicious too. So he basically says, no, I don't think anything happened. And we're like, listen, dude, that's pretty fishy. Like, you need to ask her about it because that's not normal. Normal people don't fall asleep on FaceTime with somebody that, you know, they don't know like that unless there's something going on. And before the comments of, oh, maybe they were just friends. Listen, if you have a boyfriend, you don't fall asleep on FaceTime with another dude, especially if you live with a dude. You just don't do that. And if you do that, then you're just a bad girlfriend. That's like not cool. But whatever, she loves him. She would never do any of that to him. And we're like, all right, man, well, we're gonna support you, but that's sketchy. You know, you already know that we're not the biggest fans of her, and this is just not good. Like, it does not look good that she was asleep with another dude on FaceTime. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So whatever. I don't see him for a couple days. Like, he kind of goes off and does his own thing. But the next time we see him, the next time we're all hanging out, he goes, guys, I've got more bad news, and I don't know what to think, and I need your guys' advice. And we're like, all right, sure, so what's gone on? And he's like, well, I guess the guy lives in Kansas, which is basically across the country from where we are, right? And they're just friends. She says that they're just friends. They've just known each other forever, and like there's nothing going on at all. Everything's cool, but she's gonna go to Kansas and visit him for a week just to clear her head. And we're like, yeah, bro, yeah, she's gonna clear her head by putting hers where, you know, you guys get what I'm trying to say. No girl's just going on a vacation to visit a random dude for a week without her boyfriend to clear their head, all right? And no dude's ever gonna do that either. If you have a boyfriend or girlfriend that's like, I'm gonna go visit someone from my past for a week and you can't visit and they're paying for everything. Oh, I forgot to add that. The guy was gonna pay for everything. It's definitely not just a friendly get-together trip. I can promise you guys that. So of course at this point we're like, dude, this is sketchy. This is definitely shady. And he's like, no, come on. And whatever. I guess the trip isn't that sketchy until you put into context that she fell asleep on the phone with FaceTime. So we asked him what else he did when he found out that she was going on a trip. And he said, well, that night I checked her phone and she had FaceTimed him 37 times in the last 3 days. Once again, I don't know. And he said, and the timings of the calls were only when I was gone. And then he would come home when they'd still be on FaceTime and she wouldn't have headphones in. And then she'd go put headphones in so he couldn't hear what the guy was saying. So all of these things together just looks insanely sketchy, right? Like 100% the sketchiest situation in the world. This girl is definitely going around being a shady little hoe behind his back. But it gets sketchier. He's like, I feel so bad for going through her phone. I definitely, I'm at fault. And I'm like, listen. If you were just going through her phone randomly, yeah, that's weird. Don't invade people's privacy. If you're suspicious and she's going to visit him for a week and she's asleep on FaceTime and you live with her, you gotta do what you gotta do. And when he checked her phone, they had a best friends on Snapchat, but deleted the text messages. There were no text messages, which is just shady. Like, you don't do that unless you're trying to hide something. You only text over Snapchat, you delete every text message, you're FaceTiming 37 times in a day. All this stuff is making the situation look not very good for my friend, right? But he maintains, no, I don't think anything happened. And we're all like, dude, there's definitely something going on. And he says, fine, I'm gonna confront her about it. We're just gonna see what her reaction is. Whatever, like, we'll just see, So he goes to her and he says, hey, this is the evidence, this is what I found. I don't think there's anything going on, but like, do you have any proof that you haven't done anything? Because all this evidence looks like you're being sketchy. And instead of being like, oh, here, let me call him on FaceTime so he can tell you that nothing's going on, or like, here, let me show you what we're talking about, here, let me explain and everything, she goes, oh, so you think I'm some cheating whore? Starts crying, punches a hole in their bathroom wall. Meanwhile, they're not arguing. Like, he just literally was like, hey, I don't think anything's going on, but this is what it looks like to me. And instead of being an adult and explaining it or providing any evidence at all that nothing's going on, she freaks out, punches a wall, and then basically says that he's calling her a whore, which he has never done, by the way. And listen, I can understand being upset if somebody accuses you of something you haven't done. I totally get that. But even in the days after they've broken up or a couple hours later, right after you get over that, super upset feeling, that's when you're like, here's proof that I haven't done anything. Here, we'll FaceTime the guy. He'll tell you nothing's going on. No, none of that happens. She just maintains that she's innocent without doing anything to prove that she's innocent, So her explanation for the 37 FaceTime calls is like, oh, the call kept failing. And he's like, all right, well then why were you FaceTiming this dude I don't know for 9 hours a day whenever I was in class or not there? That's just weird. And she's like, oh, but the calls were failing. That's why I did it. Just sketchy things, not really an explanation for why she did anything, but just dumb excuses that don't actually make any sense, just trying to get out of trouble. Because obviously, to anyone with a brain, there's definitely something going on, right? 100%, if you don't think there's anything going on, you're dumb. But of course, she's innocent. She never did anything wrong. All of it's a lie. He's making up lies about her, blah, 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 blah. And something you gotta learn about breakups, I kind of talked about this in my breakup video, is after you break up with people, if the breakup's bad, they're gonna make up lies about you. They're gonna exaggerate things that have gone wrong. Yeah, I'm sure my friend made mistakes in their relationship. I'm sure she did too. But you can tell a lot about a breakup by how they talk about the ex afterwards. And the person that's going around claiming that the other person's insane, that the other person's crazy, that the other person's a manipulator, that the other person's all these terrible things, really terrible things without any proof, just trying to be like, oh yeah, this person punches kittens in the face. 9 times out of 10 was the bad one in the relationship. If you ask someone about their ex and they're a great person, it just didn't work out, I wish them the best. That's a mature breakup. The second anybody goes around bad-mouthing their ex, I think differently of them because it's just a sketchy thing to do. You're not with someone for years at a time and then have the ability to just mad talk shit on them constantly and exaggerate things and make up stories if you did nothing wrong. So, at the end of the day, we never really got any, proof, no smoking gun. However, 99% confident something's gone on. The way she reacted to everything, the way she acted after, all of it's super sketchy. And my friend was pretty messed up, dude. It's not fun to realize that the person that you were living with and loved was going behind your back. Obviously, that's a pretty terrible thing to experience. Life gets better, you learn lessons from it. That's all you can really ask for at the end of the day, is that any relationship you're in, that you become a better person because of it, and that you learn things to apply later in life. But these things happen, you gotta learn from it and move on. And yeah, moral of the story too is never get back with somebody that does this to you, because if you do, man, you're just gonna let them walk all over you. You gotta have a backbone, you gotta have a spine. Tell that hoe that she ain't worth it no mo. Or the guy hoe, whichever way. If it's a guy hoe, if it's a girl hoe, whatever. Just don't let hoes walk all over you, because they their high heels will stab into your back and they'll paralyze you, and you'll have to walk around well, not walk around, roll around like Stephen Hawking, and you don't want that to happen. But on that note, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please press the like button. We're growing like crazy. Like, seriously, the last 4 days we've gotten 40,000 subs, so that's nuts. I do really appreciate all the support. You guys are incredible. Thank you for everything you guys do. Obviously, I love my job more than anything in the world, and you guys are the reason that I get to do it. But yeah, I would really appreciate you pressing the like button. If you have any stories of your friends that have gone through anything similar or anything like this, I would love to hear it. I really like reading comments of other people's stories because I tell them a lot. I don't get to read them a lot. And I'm thinking about doing a weekly series where I'll tell one of your guys' stories. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But my name is Scrubby. Hope you all have an absolutely incredible day. I know I will. Don't let your girlfriend fall asleep on the phone with other people on FaceTime. And don't get anyone pregnant. And if you do, make sure they're hot and not a cheater. I'll talk to you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.